Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Tristan 1, and I am back with another video. Now, if you checked out my live stream, we talked about this a couple of days ago, that the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tyronn Lue, coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, decided after losing to the San Antonio Spurs, they had to improve the lineup, make some changes in the lineup. Now, I said in that live stream, do not be surprised if A, B, and C happen. Now, the one thing I said do not be shocked of is the Cleveland Cavaliers going back to basics, sticking to what works, okay? And what do I mean by that is Tristan Thompson going back into the five spot. That makes perfect sense, all right? Now, by Tristan Thompson, there's pros and cons of having Tristan Thompson in the 5 spot. The pro is he's a better defender than Kevin Love. The experiment of putting Kevin Love in the 5 spot is not working, all right? Now, he's a rim protector, and who do I mean by him? Tristan Thompson. He's a rim protector. He makes slashers hesitate on continuing to attack the basket or kicking it out or settling for a contested jumper, all right? So that's the pro side of things. Now, the con side of things of having Tristan Thompson in the starting lineup is Tristan Thompson offense is spooky sometimes, all right? Whatever Tristan Thompson can get you on the offensive end, that's the best he can do. All right. Now, I noticed Tristan Thompson wanted to try to be 6th man of the year. When I heard that and read it in an article, I kind of chuckled at it because Tristan Thompson does not have the offensive pedigree to be consistently on the offensive end to score points as well as he's a better defender than an offensive player. Let's just go on and get that out of the way. If he had any type of offense whatsoever, he would have continued to stay in the 5 spot. Now, they moved Kevin Love to the 4 spot. Now, to me, I thought they was going to play Kevin Love off the bench, and I gave you guys my reasons why I believe that. All right, but putting him on the 4 spot also has pros and cons as well. That's his natural fit, and he moves freely in the 4 spot. He will sometimes give you offensive rebounds. He will sometimes get in the way, so therefore whoever he's defending has a decision to make. All right, he's not the best defender, but he's better known on the offensive end. He gives you offensive touches. He gives you offensive rebounds. He gives you offensive assists. He gives you offense when you're talking about points, all right? On the defensive side of things, he struggles, all right? And that's the reason why they put him in the 5 spot in the beginning. They tried to hide Kevin Love because he couldn't keep up with any type of 4 in the NBA when you're talking about offensive wise, and he would have been overpowered, and they figured by him being in the 5 spot, he can probably contest a lot of centers out there, right? Because there's not a lot of centers out there that's got a 12-foot jump shot, that's athletic enough to get by Kevin Love. Okay, they tried that experiment. That experiment didn't work. The early part of that experiment saw some improvements, but eventually teams got used of and got wind of Kevin Love as a defensive player guarding a 5. All right, now everything else stays a status quo. Of course LeBron is going to play the 3. I thought they was going to move J.R. Smith and put him on the bench, but it really depends on if they can orchestrate a trade where they can get George Hill. And there's rumors out there that suggest that if they can get George Hill, George Hill and Isaiah Thomas will play the 1 and 2 spot. All right. Which means that Dwayne Wade will continue to man the second team unit. And that even put J.R. Smith as a special type of player that comes in certain situations. He's not going to get a lot of minutes doing that. They're only going to put him in there when they need a bunch of points. All right. That's if the George trade goes through. But what they're thinking about is keeping J.R. Smith at the 2, keeping Isaiah Thomas at the 1 for now. Okay. Now, I also thought that Isaiah Thomas was going to go on the bench. All right. And the reason why they're going to keep Isaiah Thomas in the starting lineup, because they want other teams to have the opportunity to see Isaiah Thomas. All right. And Isaiah Thomas may be tradable if teams see what Isaiah Thomas can do for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, there has been, as you guys know, they had a closed door meeting last week, and a lot of people were doing a lot of finger pointing. And the one who had the most voice in the room was Isaiah Thomas. All right. Isaiah Thomas was not happy with Kevin Love. All right. Now we can go into this and say how when you think about it, everyone got upset with Kevin Love because he said he felt ill. He thought he had the flu, and he couldn't play the rest of the game, and he missed practice the next day. And let's just say, for argument's sake, this is true. Okay. Everyone has a problem of Kevin Love missing one game, which he did play some in that game, but no one has a problem with Isaiah Thomas missing a significant time. And when he comes back, he's trying to do a little bit too much, and he's doing really more harm than good. And no one has a problem when Derrick Rose took a leave of absence, stepped away from the team. First he came with a flat top, now he comes with braids in his head. Okay, but no one had a problem with that either. But that's neither here nor there. We're not going to make this video any longer. To me, this is a short-term fix when you're talking about the lineup. This, I feel like they're going to have to slow the ball down, become more of a defensive team. And by slowing the ball down, that helps you on the defensive side of things. You're not running back and forth. Okay. Now, a lot of people saw a video of Jae Crowder when Kevin Love fell to the floor. Jae Crowder just simply looked at him and walked away. The reasoning behind that was simple. Jae Crowder already knew about this announcement. Okay. So he wasn't too pleased with the latest lineup shuffle and lineup change. But you have to, if Jae Crowder has to realize, even in Boston, he wasn't considered a starter. He was mainly a guy that came off the bench and did only one thing and one thing only, which was man up the best player on the other side. Now, ever since he landed in Cleveland, he's having a hard time. The struggle is real for Jae Crowder. So the one thing that he's good at, he's no longer good at. Okay. Like I said in several videos, when you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers as a team, as a unit, they got a lot of players that are one-dimensional. They can't do a lot of other things. And when they struggle at that one thing that they're supposed to be good at, they're useless. Okay. For an example, J.R. Smith loves shooting the three. Hit a lot of contested and non-contested threes in the glory days of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now he's having a hard time, and this really started last year. He's having a hard time making that shot. And when J.R. Smith is not making that shot, he's completely useless to an NBA ball club. The same could be said for Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas gets his points by being very athletic, bullying, slashing to the hole. But due to that injury, he has a hard time doing that. And when he can't do that, there's nothing else Isaiah Thomas can do for your ball club. Okay, he's completely useless. The same can be said for Kevin Love. Kevin Love can shoot on the perimeter. He can move up and down the court, but when you're talking about defense, he struggles in that. And when he's not doing those things I just mentioned, he's completely useless. Now, the only player that the Cleveland Cavaliers have that's multi-functionable is LeBron James. Okay, so this lineup will help. They will get some wins, but this lineup is going to do one or two things. One, this lineup is going to help them in the win column. Two, this lineup is going to help them for the players that they have on their roster that they want to trade and get rid of to get better talent. Okay, and even if they do get George Hill, and let's just say they get George Hill and DeAndre Jordan. That's just because those are the two latest names that's surrounded with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Still, that's not enough, but it's a little bit better than what they have, right in front of them today. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm Tristan Thompson, and I am out, folks.